Darkness. That is the first thing I remember. Not the soft darkness of night, where the moonlight peeks through the curtains and you know the sun will return in the morning. No, this was a crushing darkness, sudden and permanent, like a door slammed shut forever. One moment, my wife and I were running through the market, laughter spilling between us as the world bustled with life and noise. The next, screams, fire, shattering glass, and a blast of pain that stole everything. When I woke up in the hospital, the light was gone. I could not see the doctors. I could not see my wife's face. I could not see anything again. We had both been attacked, caught in violence that left us scarred not only in body but in soul. The attackers left us blind. And yet, this is not just a story of loss. This is the story of what happened afterward, the impossible miracle we thought would never come. Because even in darkness, life has a way of planting seeds. Even when the world feels cruel, love has a way of breaking through. And even when attackers tried to steal everything from us, they could not take away what we would later hold in our arms, our baby. Backhand index pointing right. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the strength of the human spirit, please take a moment to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel Kindness Pulse. Together, let's spread stories that keep hope alive in a world that sometimes feels too dark. At first, the days were unbearable. Imagine waking up and never again seeing the person you love. I could hear my wife breathing next to me, feel her trembling hands, but I could no longer look into her eyes or witness her smile. She too had lost her sight in the attack. The thought that both of us were trapped in this eternal night together, it felt like a curse. We cried endlessly, not because of what we had lost, but because of the cruel reality that we had to keep living without it. Our dreams, our plans, everything seemed broken. People came and went in the hospital, offering sympathy, whispering words of encouragement, but deep down, we were drowning. The sound of shuffling feet, the smell of medicines, the endless murmurs of strangers, it became our new reality. When they told us we would never see again, I felt the ground collapse beneath me. What life could two blind people have? How would we survive? And more painfully, how could we ever hope to raise a family, something we had dreamed of since the day we got married? The world outside treated us differently too. We heard the pity in voices, the hesitation in conversations, the awkward silences. Neighbors whispered about us as though we were broken things instead of human beings. Every step became a challenge, crossing the street, cooking, even walking around our small home without falling. I remember the first time I tried to make tea for my wife after the hospital. My hands shook, hot water spilled over, and I burned my arm. She rushed to help me, bumping into the table, spilling the cups. We ended up laughing through our tears, but the pain of helplessness was real. Weeks turned into months, and though we learned to manage the darkness, hope felt far away. My wife grew quieter each day. She had always been so full of light, a woman whose laughter lit up rooms. But now, she often sat in silence, her hands resting on her lap, as though she was carrying a weight too heavy to bear. I feared she would lose herself in the endless night. I feared we both would. Then one evening, while sitting together in the quiet of our room, she whispered something that changed everything. Her voice trembled, but beneath it was a spark I hadn't heard in months. She said, "I think I might be pregnant." At first, I thought I had misheard her. How could it be? But then, slowly, the truth sank in. Life was stirring inside her. In the very bodies that had been broken, in the very souls that felt robbed of light, there was something growing, something pure, innocent, untouched by violence. Our baby. The news gave us a reason to live again. Fear didn't vanish overnight, but for the first time, we had something bigger than the pain to hold on to. Every morning, I would place my hand gently on her stomach, waiting, imagining the tiny heartbeat inside. My wife, too, started smiling again, her hands often stroking her belly as though she could feel the future moving under her skin. But life did not become easier. In fact, it became harder. Blindness turned every doctor's visit into a trial. We had to rely on strangers to guide us, to help us cross busy roads, to sit in crowded waiting areas where voices blurred and footsteps confused us. Many times, we were ignored, treated as burdens, dismissed as people who couldn't handle it. Once, a nurse even asked in a cold voice, How will you raise a child when you can't even see yourselves? The words cut deep, but instead of breaking us, they strengthened our resolve. We would prove them wrong. The pregnancy was not smooth. My wife's body was weak from the attack. She faced long nights of pain, nausea, and fear. Many times she cried, and I would hold her close, whispering promises I wasn't sure I could keep. I told her our child would grow up surrounded by love, that blindness would not stop us from being parents. I reminded her that love does not need eyes, it only needs a heart. And she would whisper back that she believed me, even when she herself was scared. There were nights when the silence was unbearable, when memories of the attack haunted us. We could still hear the screams, the chaos, the shattering of glass. I would wake up trembling, reaching out in the dark, only to find her doing the same. We both carried invisible wounds. But then she would guide my hand to her stomach, where life was moving, and suddenly the nightmares didn't matter as much. Months passed, and the day came when she went into labor. I cannot describe the fear I felt in those hours. Blindness made everything worse. We couldn't see the doctors, couldn't read their faces, couldn't follow their gestures. We only had sounds to cling to: the rush of footsteps, the panic in voices, the beeping of machines. I held her hand tightly, whispering over and over, you can do this, I'm here, we're not alone. And then, amidst the chaos, it happened. A cry filled the room. High, sharp, alive. Our baby had entered the world. We couldn't see her face, couldn't see her eyes, but when the nurse placed her in our arms, we didn't need sight. We felt her warmth, her tiny fingers curling around ours, her soft breaths against our skin. For the first time since the attack, we felt light again, not through our eyes, but through our hearts. The attackers thought they had left us broken. They thought by taking our sight, they had stolen our future. But they were wrong. They could not take away love. They could not take away the miracle of life. And as we held our baby close, we knew we were not defeated. We were parents. We had purpose again. Raising her was not easy. Every task was a challenge. We learned to measure her milk by touch, to listen for her soft cries in the night, to baby-proof the house without seeing. But with every struggle, we also discovered strength we never knew we had. We discovered that love sharpens the senses. We could hear her breaths in the quietest room, we could feel her presence without sight, we could recognize her laugh among 100 others. She became our guiding light in the darkness. Today, when people ask how two blind parents raise a child, I smile and tell them, with love. Sight is not the only way to see. Sometimes, the deepest vision comes from the heart. Our baby taught us that. She is proof that even in the darkest places, miracles bloom. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with others, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Kindness Pulse. Your support helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world of hope, love, and the power of second chances. Special request before we end, please comment below what hope means to you. We'd love to read your stories and feelings, because together, your words can inspire others who are going through their own darkness.